Hi, welcome to Bar Cart Bookshelf, a video series about books and the drinks they inspire. My name is Elias, and today we're talking about The Liar's Knot by M.A. Carrick. The Liar's Knot is the second book in the Rook and Rose trilogy. The first book we discussed late last year, The Mask of Mirrors, and I had such a fun time over the holidays reading The Liar's Knot and revisiting the world of Nadežra. The Liar's Knot continues the story of Ren, our con artist turned noblewoman who engages in duels and gets initiated into cults, discovers new secrets of the powerful among the city and the powers that underpin the universe that they inhabit. It's a really wonderful exploration of world building with plenty of swashbuckling sword fights, identities kept secret and identities revealed, and I had such a fun time reading it. I can't wait to come back for book 3 late this year. So I was thinking with this week's drink that one of the things I wanted to do was to preserve some of the flavors and ingredients that we used in our Vraszenian Spiced Chocolate that we explored late last year for The Mask of Mirrors, while bringing some new elements in and celebrating some of what has changed in the city since last we visited. And so, without any further ado, why don't we turn to this week's drink. It is the Black Rose in honor of the Liar's Knot. And we'll get started with our base spirit. So we're going to have an ounce of brandy. I am using an American brandy today, one of my hometown favorites, Copper and Kings. It's a nice, accessible brandy, but this recipe is nice and versatile. So if you have another brandy that you prefer, certainly try that. It'll work well with a cognac or an Armagnac or any sort of American brandy. And we'll want 1 ounce of the brandy in our mixing glass. Next, continuing over from the alcoholic version of the Vraszenian Spiced Chocolate, we'll get an ounce of dark Creme de Cacao. Nice, rich, dark chocolate. Good for when you're having a hard time in a magical city. Again, one of the fun things about book 2 was that it continued this way of having spiced chocolate as a comforting beverage. And then finally, because this is the Black Rose in honor of the eponymous Black Rose in the trilogy title, the Rook and Rose, we have a black cherry Grenadine. So a black cherry syrup that's been scented with rose water. It's going to have really nice sort of dark fruit notes and some delicate florality because of the rose water as well. So a really nice sort of sweetening ingredient in there. It's going to turn this a lovely dark red and bring a touch of sweetness that the 2 alcoholic ingredients aren't really going to add. Finally, to balance things off and to bring the spice of the Vraszenian Spiced Chocolate back into the mix, we have our old friend Angostura Bitters, and we're going to get a couple of dashes of that in there. With bitters, it's always important to remember that it's easier to add more, harder to add less. So start with a light touch, taste as you go, and if you want another dash in there, you can certainly do that in your completed cocktail. So we've got our ingredients here in the mixing glass. We'll start adding our ice, which we always add less because that's what cooks the cocktail, what starts diluting and blending those flavors, bringing them all together. I really had just such a wonderful time revisiting Nadežra, especially because there is a really prominent cult subplot, this initiatory experience among certain elites in the city, and that's something that I just really enjoy when I come across it in a book. We saw that in The Death of Jane Lawrence last fall, and it's an element that I was excited to see again here in the Liar's Knot. So we'll stir that for about 20 seconds or so until all of the ice is sort of even with the liquid. So you can see, nice and stirred, good and rich. Excellent. And then we'll take our julep strainer, handy dandy, and get that hitch on there. Take our cocktail glass and just strain. Wonderful. Perfect. And we can set that aside. So, there you have it, the Black Rose, a stirred cocktail in honor of the Black Rose of Azares, a major character in The Liar's Knot by M.A. Carrick. As always, please remember to like and subscribe. Try the drink, let me know what you think. We've got links down below to purchase the book, to find tools and ingredients at our friends the Boston Shaker, the suppliers for all of the tools, all of the bitters that I use here. Link to the recipe as well on Twitter. We always cross-post a photograph and a written version of the recipe on Twitter and Instagram. So until next time, cheers.